Hello, I'm Lynn and welcome to my channel, So Lindy Lou. I hope you're all really well this week. You'll be glad to hear that my, whatever it was I had last week, cold, flu, whatever it was, has now gone. So I'm feeling good, feeling healthy and it's almost back to normal. Still feel a bit tired, but yes, much better than last week. So you will hear, I've got some recording during this video that I did last week that I'm going to be including. So you'll definitely hear the difference in my poorly voice last week. So this vlog is all about social sewing. So I've had the pleasure of meeting up with lots of sewing friends recently, and I'll talk you through the couple of events that I've been to. So I'm going to be sharing some footage that I recorded during the events, and then I'll just do a little bit of a tying it all together in between times. So I'll do this bit of an intro, and then I'm going to give you some footage from the Sewing for Pleasure show at the NEC, which I went to last Friday. And I did a bit of filming whilst I was there as well, just to show you some of the stalls and how busy it was as well. It was actually pretty busy on the Friday. We arrived as it opened, so it's probably no surprise. You've got lots of people all queuing up to go in. So we hung back and chatted for a while as we all got together. I met up with the lovely Sarah from my Handmade Wardrobe. I'm part of her weekend sewing club, and she'd organised a few of us to go along and meet there. So it was really lovely to meet some people that I watch on vlogs, and I actually got to meet them in real life, so that was really good. So I saw the lovely Emma Smith, who is Happy Sew on Instagram, and Emma has actually been a sewing teacher of mine for quite some time. When I got back into sewing about 3 years ago, I went on a course with Emma, and I've done quite a few of her sewing courses, and I really enjoy going along on courses so that you can be sociable and sew together with other people, because sometimes you want to sew at home alone and hunker down, but actually other times it's lovely to sew together with people. So Emma was one of the first, I think in fact the first sewing tutor I met up with and went to her class, so it was great to see Emma again. And I also met up with Tina from Bobbing Along Nicely. That's her vlog and also her Instagram name as well. So it's really nice to meet Tina. She and I went round together because we've got some similar tastes in the sorts of things we like. So it was great to go around with Tina and have a look at lots of fabric. I was actually really restrained. I didn't buy anything, in fact, because I've already got all my fabric for my autumn winter makes that I've already planned. So I thought, unless I see something that absolutely catches my eye and I love, then I might treat myself. But I didn't really see anything that blew me away or things I hadn't really seen before. So I didn't buy any fabric, although I was tempted with a couple of pieces. But I just thought, actually, I've got lots to do and I need to get on and get those sewn up. And with the fact that we're going to be moving house, I didn't want to be buying loads of extra pieces that I needed to find somewhere to store in the meantime. So I was very restrained on that point. And then the other thing I was actually looking for was thread, and I didn't really see anybody that was selling thread there, so I didn't buy any. I also thought I might buy some buttons if I saw some really lovely buttons. And again, there were some button stands, but they were really busy, so I couldn't really get close to have a proper look. And we then moved on, and I didn't go back to that stall. So it was lovely meeting up with other sewing friends that I'd met on other retreats. So I met some that were on the My Handmade Wardrobe retreat that I went on when I did the pattern drafting course. So I met up with a couple of people that were on there. Do you know, I've just had a mental block on the names, so I'll put the names along the bottom. And it was great to see them again as well. So, and we kept just bumping into each other as we were going around the stalls. So that was really good fun. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. So I'll put some footage in of the Sewing for Pleasure show. As I say, you'll see a couple where I've just put some footage in of the the alleyways in between the stalls, and you'll see that it's quite busy. It wasn't that busy all day, it sort of thinned out in places, and we actually started in reverse because we could see as everyone came in they were all turning left, so we went right and we started at the end and worked our way backwards. So, and then when we stopped and had a bite to eat, we went the other end and started from the beginning and met back up in the middle with people that we'd agreed to meet with. So it was a really lovely event. Not so much in terms of pure sewing stalls. As I say, there were button stalls, there were some haberdashery stalls, there were about, I think, 5 different fabric stalls. So in particular, we spent some time with Roy from Roy's Fabric World, so it was lovely to meet him. You'll see a photo with Roy. And then there was also Lady McElroy there as well. So, but it was a relatively small stand. Rainbow Fabrics were there as well, but they'd mainly got crafting cottons and a little bit of wool because it was sewing for pleasure, and there was the the craft element in there as well. So that's what they'd mainly brought along because they'd just done the big Ali Pali knitting and stitching show recently, so that was their really big stand. So this one was much smaller, it was more aimed at the crafting market. So it was good to go along to, but I think for me, in terms of pure sewing content and sewing suppliers, I definitely prefer either the knit and stitch show or the what's the other one called? Stitch Festival, which I'll be going to again in March. That's got a lot more purely dedicated sewing stalls, whereas there was a lot of craft at this one. So depending on what you do and what your hobbies are, different shows might be better for different reasons, but it was still good to go, and it was great to meet up with sewing friends. So really enjoyed that. So I'm going to pause there now and put the video content for you. Hello, it's another live from my car as I arrive at the Sewing for Pleasure show at the NEC. So today I'm going to be doing some filming for you to show you what the show is like. It's Sewing for Pleasure, it's also the Creative Craft show, and there's also fashion and embroidery show as well. Apparently there's also a Christmas show, a cake show and a fitness show, so it sounds like there's something for everybody here today. I am, as you can probably tell, still quite bunged up with this cold, so apologies for my very baggy eyes. They're definitely not feeling like they normally do, and I am still a little bit bunged up with this cold, but hopefully it's on the way out. Definitely starting to feel better towards the end of this week than I did at the beginning, which is good. So yeah, I will do some filming and show you what's there at the show if you can't make it yourself. So I hope you enjoyed seeing the footage from the Sewing for Pleasure and seeing all the lovely smiling faces of the people that I met up with. So the second sociable sewing thing I have done, and that's actually been this week, was to get together with the lovely Sam from Sew Let's Sparkle with Sam. She'd seen on one of my vlogs that I'd mentioned that I really wanted to make the Maker's Caddy from Adam Sews. I'd had the pattern in my stash for a little while because I'd really admired the caddies that Adam makes. They're absolutely stunning, and I remember messaging him quite some time ago and saying, do you have a pattern? I'd love to make one. And he said, oh no, I just sell them at the time. That's what he did, he made them and sold them, but now I'm pleased to say that he's released the pattern. So I was really keen to make that, and Sam had seen me mention it on my vlog, and she said, oh actually I want to make another one. She'd already made one on a course with Adam, but she wanted a second one, so she got one to leave in her studio and then one with separate tools in that she can just pick up and go when she goes off to a sewing social. So she said, why don't you come over, because she's got her lovely new sewing room that she uses for teaching. I think she's got room for about 4 people in there. So she said, yeah, come on over and we'll make our caddies. So that's what I did. So I'll show you the caddy shortly, but I'll show you the fabric first of all. So I bought some lovely craft cotton. It's cotton poplin that I got from Oh So Crafty. So I got a green, and that one's red and pink, so it's sort of a pale pink background, and then a pinky red for the leopard print. And I love this one. It's a lovely emerald green and black. As you know, I love leopard print, so I thought I would make my caddy in leopard print. Sam and I were laughing because we're both very on brand with our fabric choices. So I'd got all the bits and pieces together, and I actually bought, Adam does a kit where you can just buy the hardware. So he sent me the zips and the webbing and all the, I'm just looking at the bag down here to see what was in it. The vinyl, there's some stretchy, I don't know what you call that, stretchy stuff. That stuff that goes inside that you can use as a pocket. I can't think of the name of that. Mesh, I suppose it is. What else was included? Yeah, the actual wadding to go, or foam to go inside the bag as well, to make it nice and stable. So because I've never actually done any quilting before, I didn't really know what the supplies were. It's a whole other a whole other form of sewing, and because I'd not done it before, I didn't really know what to buy and where to get all of the bits and pieces from. So I thought, rather than go and buy an enormous roll of foam, just in case I don't really take to it and I don't ever want to quilt again, I just thought I'll get the kit from Adam. You can get it including the fabric as well, and obviously Adam has some beautiful fabrics that you can buy from him. Lots of Tula pink, all the beautiful different colourful ranges of fabric that he has. So because I'd got in mind the fabric that I wanted, I just bought the hardware kit. So that had all the little D-rings and clasps and everything that you needed to put the hardware onto the bag. So we got together on Tuesday and we spent pretty much all day sewing, although there is some footage that Sam and I took, so I might be repeating a little bit of what we said. We both did a bit of film and I can't remember what we said on each other's videos, so there might be a bit of duplication, sorry about that. But we spent the day together, but we did do quite a lot of chatting. We had coffees and lunch and things in between, so we didn't sew for the entire day, but we did spend the majority of the time. And what we did is we've got Adam's video on Sam's laptop, and then we've got the instructions on an iPad, so we were sort of going between the two, reading the instructions and looking at the video, and it was so helpful. It really does take you through absolutely step by step of what you need to do. Adam makes it look very easy on his lovely sort of professional type machine that he has. I think he's got a Juki that he was using, and it absolutely eats up the quilting, no problem at all. Whereas Sam's and I, certainly when we got to the final bits where we were putting the binding on, you got all the different layers coming together, they struggled a little bit more, but actually mine didn't fare too badly. It did actually sew through all the layers, albeit I think we both ended up with a broken needle at some point. So yeah, it definitely puts your machines through the paces. So here's my finished caddy. I think I'll show it you on the video with Sam as well, but I'll just show you some close-ups. So I've got a handmade label, which is one that the lovely Adam sent me. I've got one of Sam's labels, so I'll just put that a little bit close. There we go, a little bit closer there so you can see. And then I've got one of the little rosy cheeks, the Swing It, Shake It, Move It, Made It, which I really like. So that matches the bag handles. So I thought I'd put a pink one on. And then there are all the lovely matching zips. So you've got two pockets. We put two pockets with zips either end, so you can put your keys and any valuables that you don't want to lose, or small things that might fall out. So we've got a zip on that end as well. You can make that one as just a slip pocket if you like. And then on the front we put 3 divisions in. so that you've got the little pockets there rather than having one enormous pocket. And this side I did 2 smaller end pockets so I can put pens and things like that in there that are quite small, and then a slightly larger pocket in the middle. And then inside I've got the vinyl that I bound with the red fabric, already pink fabric, and I did, I think, 4 pockets on this side and then 3 larger ones on the other side, so I can put my scissors and pens and things in, and then the 2 mesh pockets on the end, and I just put a row of stitching down the middle. So I'm really, dropping it now because it's full. I'm really pleased with how it's ended up. And what I am going to make, actually, Adam also has a pattern for what he calls Caddy packers, and they are, imagine like a mini pencil case, and you can use see-through vinyl or pattern vinyl so you can see what's inside, and they're exactly the right shape and size to fit inside the caddy. So if you've got loose things, so for example I've got my scissors that are loose, and I've got some, I don't know whether they'll fit in actually, but I've got my clips in there, so it'll be useful for all those little loose things, so you don't want them all rattling around the bottom with an opportunity to fall out. So I'm going to make some of the caddy packers to go on the inside. So the other thing I just wanted to show you, I've shown you one of them already, but the lovely Sam actually gifted me a pack of her brand new labels. So I'll put a picture in because I've got them all loose at the moment, and I'd have to hold them all up individually. So I'll just pop a picture in here so you can see the full set. So there are 6 labels altogether, and she's got those available on her website. They're absolutely lovely. And the other thing that I bought while I was at Sam's, I wanted to be able to choose the fabric that I had. So you might have seen that Sam has been showing these on her Instagram, and I think probably on a vlog as well. She's created these lovely face wipes and pouch sewing kit. So inside the sewing kit you get all the fabric you need. So there's a lovely bamboo toweling to be able to make a face wipe. You get the instruction leaflet, so it's all professionally created. And then I chose this lovely moon fabric. I don't know whether that's upside down. Yes, it is. There we go. It's got little moon faces on it, so I thought that was quite cute. And then you get a lining fabric as well to be able to make, oh, and I got 2 little sewing gifts. I got some needles, and I also got, which I've actually put already into my little caddy, I got a unicorn set of tweezers. So they're really useful. So they're in my sewing kit because they're always great to use. So really recommend the kit. I haven't yet made it up, but I saw some that Sam had already made, and they look great for gift ideas. So I'm going to be making those up probably next week, and I'll think about who I'm going to be gifting those to. Hopefully nobody that's watching the video. So we had an absolutely brilliant time sewing together. We were able to chat along and sew and, you know, ask questions of each other, go back and re-watch bits of the video if you were unsure. Sam's really good friends with Adam, so we even had a Zoom with Adam as well. So he said, you know, if we get stuck, to let him know. But we didn't get stuck actually, because his video is brilliant. As I say, it's so helpful, and it really takes you through all the stages, and you can see exactly how Adam puts them together. The only bit that I was not so pleased with, and I actually unpicked one of them this morning, was the binding. So you sew the binding on one side and then fold it over and then top stitch. And what I'd done on one of them, I hadn't quite caught it in far enough. So when I'd folded it over, there was too much fabric. I think it was this end one here, and it ended up sort of sticking over the zip a little bit. It was sort of flapping open. So I unpicked that this morning while I had my breakfast, and I've re-stitched it. So I'm happy with that. It's still a little bit baggy at the bottom here, but I don't want to cut that off because otherwise I'd have a raw edge at the bottom. So I'll have to live with that one being a little bit longer. But it's the first time I've done binding like that, where you've got obviously the two parts of the fabric. You've got the foam on both pieces, so you've got 6 layers of fabric first of all, and then you've got the binding. So you end up, I think, probably with 8 levels, or 10 actually, because you've got the fabric double, 10 levels, layers of fabric, and obviously the foam is thicker than just the normal fabric to sew through. So I think the machines did quite well to get through that actually, and you know, not have too many problems. So yeah, absolutely delighted with the Caddy, but even more so it was lovely spending the time with Sam. So it took us about a day and a half in total. I think Adam probably makes them in about 3 hours flat because he's so experienced at making them, but it definitely took us a bit longer, and as I say, lots of chatting in between as well. So we love making them. Onwards now to the Caddy packer, so I shall show you those when I've made them as well. And yeah, do ask if you've got any questions about the pattern, if you make, or if you've made it yourself, or if you're going to make it, then do ask if there's anything that I can help with. But as I say, the key for me is go and watch the video, and you get access to that. There's a QR code on the pattern when you buy that from Adam, so do go out and check his website, because he's got lots of other great patterns on there as well. So I did have another look this morning, because now I realise that I actually quite enjoyed doing the quilting. I'm thinking, what else could I make? So I was having a look at his patterns on there this morning. So I might make some project bags as well, because I've got a roll of vinyl now that that I definitely need to be making things with. So I shall be using that for the Caddy packers, and also a project bag as well. I think Adam's is called the EPP case, so I shall be buying that pattern as well. So yeah, so that's it. So I've had a delightful week meeting up with sewing friends. It really cheered me up after not being very well last week, although I have to say on the Friday I did feel quite jaded, and I left a little bit earlier than everybody else, because I still wasn't 100% on the Friday. So I'm really glad to be feeling pretty much back to normal now today. So here's the footage we took of Sam and I together yesterday, so I hope you enjoy. And then at the very end of the video I also recorded some bits and pieces as I went along as well, so you'll be able to see the caddies before they all get sewn together, and all the pockets and the interior pockets as well.
Take pictures.
Hello, I've been at the lovely Sam's house today. So Sam, you'll probably know Sew Like Sparkle with Sam. She invited me over because she'd seen that I'd mentioned I was going to make one of Adam's caddies, and she said, oh, I'd like to make another one, why don't you come over and we'll sew together. So we've been sewing, our machines are just behind me here. We spent quite a bit of time on it yesterday. I think we did about 10 till 5-ish yesterday.
Yeah, it was a good full day with lunch and tea breaks.
And lots of chatting. So we probably were a bit slow yesterday because we got lots to catch up on. So we certainly had a good chat. And then today we spent from 1 o'clock, and it's now about 4:30. But again, bit of chatting in between and stopping for coffee and things. But we both now have our completed caddies. And as you'll see, we're both quite on brand, because I've gone for leopard print that I love. And
I've got space.
So, and we've both got lovely labels on. So I've got a Spice Girls label on the front that says swing it, shake it, move it, made it. And then on the back, lovely Adam, when I sent for the kit, sent me a little label. So I've got a handmade label. And then I've got a lovely Made to Sparkle label, which kindly was gifted by Sam. And that matches my fabric perfectly, being a green one.
Almost as if I planned it.
Yeah.
So I've got my Don't Forget to Sparkle, and then I've also got a Made to Sparkle one, because I thought it would be nice to match.
Yeah. So there we go. So it's taken a while, and we were just saying it's probably not for complete beginners, because we're both experienced sewists. It's the first time I've actually quilted, so it was really good to have Sam as a guide, because this is the second one you've made, isn't it? So that's been really good to just, but it was very easy. So I will definitely have another go at quilting. I don't think I'll take it up as a main hobby, because I do love clothes making, but I'll definitely quilt some more things. And it was good actually to watch Adam's video, because I learned a new quilting stitch, which is the kind of wavy line. So I did use that. I don't know if you'll see it very well on mine because my fabric is so busy, but if I hold it to the camera, can you see that? there's a nice little wavy line where I quilted, so that was great. So really enjoyed doing that, and it's been a fabulous day and a half, hasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah, it has. Thank you
so
for coming. It's been lovely. It's been really nice to have company.
yes, it has been. So thank you so much.
Oh. I'm really glad.
So I hope you've enjoyed seeing all of the different events I've been to. So the Sewing for Pleasure last Friday, and then sewing the Maker's Caddy together with Sam this week, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I think you can probably tell that from the video, and I'm really pleased as well with the end results. So I definitely recommend making one if you haven't already. I will put all the information in the description box if you want to go ahead and have a look at Adam's website or Sam's website for all of the lovely products they both have, and also if you wanted to book onto one of Sam's social sewing as well. So they're called Social Sparkle. I go to the one on a Monday. There's one 10 till 12 on a Monday, and then she does one on a Friday evening, I think 7 till 9. I don't normally go to that one because I've normally got family things on a Friday, but the Monday one is a really great start to the week. So I'll put the link to all of those in the description box as well. So I hope you've had a great sewing week. I hope you're really well and you've managed to avoid all the lurgies that are doing the rounds. And please do, if you've liked the video, then please do give us a thumbs up. And I love reading all of your comments, so please do add a comment on there as well. And I will catch up with you next week in my next video. Bye for now and have a great weekend.